As a research team, we looked into crime dramas and police perceptions. After conducting secondary research, we found that with numerous concerns circulating around police behavior, including Black Lives Matter, police brutality, and racial profiling, there tends to be a lot of negativity towards law enforcement in the media and popular culture. Over the course of the past few decades, police dramas have grown more and more popular with shows such as NCIS and Law and Order. Research shows a direct correlation between viewing these shows and how people view crime and police in general.
Our research question was, do crime shows influence viewers' perceptions of real-life police?
In order to better answer this question, we used two different methodologies, being a 40-question survey administered through Qualtrics and one-on-one interviews conducted with 4 different police officers.
The first question we focused on was demographics, including race, level of education, gender, and age.
In total, 84 participants took place in our survey, 46% being Caucasian, 16% being Asian or Pacific Islander, and 35% being Hispanic or Latino. The other 2.5% were of a various race.
The majority of our participants had an education level higher than high school.
67% of our participants were female, 31% were male, and 1.2% refused to answer.
Of our simple sampling group, 2 were under 18 years old, 55 were 18 to 25 years old, 4 were 25 to 40 years old, and 13 were 40 years old or older.
Our survey found that social media is the main way people receive their news. 47% of people watch crime drama if it's on. Survey responses are inconclusive as to the overuse of police power. Most are unsure as to their personal influences from what they watch. Many agree that people are well represented in crime dramas.
After asking respondents whether or not they watch crime shows at all, we then looked into how often they did so. 47% watch it if it's on, 21% watch it never, 16.8% watch it once a week, 10% watch it 2 to 3 times a week, 5% watch 4 to 6 times a week, and 1% of our respondents watch crime shows daily.
From our survey, we found that 62% of people get their news from social media, 21% from television, 9% from other, and 6% from friends or family.
In order to analyze our data, we did a series of cross-tabulations from different questions proposed. The first being how often you watch crime shows and police overly use their power. Surprisingly, those who watched crime television shows more often were less likely to think that the police abused their power, and those who watched crime shows less often, or only if it was on, were more likely to say that the police abused their power.
The next questions we cross-tabulated were police are well represented in crime dramas, and my views have been shaped by what I watch. We found that 19 people somewhat agree or strongly agree that police are well represented in crime dramas and that their views have been probably shaped by what they watch. On the other hand, only 2 people said they strongly disagree that the police are well represented in crime dramas and that their views have been definitely not been shaped by what they watch.
Next, we have our interview results from place 1, 2, 3, and 4.
The first police officer we interviewed stated that social media doesn't show the entire story. Police shows don't show all the work that goes into actual policing. Crime shows are meant to intrigue and therefore leave out a lot of the basic work, including a majority of the paperwork that police officers have to do. Police are just wanting to help the community, and it isn't their fault that people partake in illegal activities. Additionally, she stated that people's activities and behaviors towards her change when she's in uniform.
Police Officer 2 said, when it comes to police officers, some TV shows are accurate and others aren't. They usually exaggerate everything because the purpose of it is to entertain. TV shows absolutely portray policemen as invincible and overuse their power. They show unnecessary violence and power, which makes people afraid to be around police officers.
Police number 3 said that there's a lot of negativity found on shows. Reality doesn't sell, and so that they use a lot of policemen doing wrong things. He additionally stated that there will always be bad cops in reality, but that this happens in other professions as well. People can get more of an accurate representation of police officers by reading the whole story and finding out what actually happened. They also need to realize that media needs to sell, and so they portray things in a way to get people's attention.
The last police officer we interviewed said that the criminal justice field has always interested me. A lot of what is on TV is not accurate or legal. Shows like Cops make officers seem aggressive, giving them a negative image. Social media posts a lot of police brutality, which doesn't help our image. I can't blame people for their beliefs. They can only see one side of the story.
In conclusion, both our surveys and interviews found that TV shows don't accurately depict what police officers do. They are shown to be very effective and highly great at their jobs, but they don't show the behind the scenes. They also tend to show more police brutality, and this relates back to the fact that social media is a very influential force and that this is how people get a lot of their news. Thanks to this and the fact that TV shows are meant to gain audiences, a lot of opinions around cops tend to stay negative because of what keeps being showed to them. In order to better understand police in general, one would need to be able to see both sides of the story, and that's currently not what is being seen. Lastly, we found that those who watch shows more tend to have slightly different views other than those who don't. However, limitations to our research accounts for the inconclusiveness of results and the fact that some of our answers tend to be all over the place. These limitations are obstacles and difficulties in conducting our research project with scheduling interviews with police officers, getting canceled on and having to reschedule, and getting a diverse sampling group from our survey due to the fact that we could only give surveys out to who we knew and the family around us. This means that a lot of our survey respondents tended to be sorority girls or girls that we found around campus, as well as family members, thanks to posts on Facebook and social media. We did not get a survey group that was representation of the American population, so we had to make a lot of generalizations from our data, and therefore it is not entirely conclusive.